room smells a lot like poor old Mr. Wilkins, who had been dead for 3 days when the milkman found him. But we thought it was appropriate because of Violet Sims and Big Lil the Conjure Queen, which will become clear by the time you get to Chapter 10. If you're interested in voodoo and too shy to pay a visit to Big Lil, drop in and have a talk with Aunt Hetty Little, who isn't shy at all, especially when it comes to conjuring and conjure folk and root work and such. If you're not one of our regular readers, you might ought to know that our garden club is named for Dahlia Blackstone, who gave us our beautiful little clubhouse and vegetable and flower gardens. With so many darling folks still down on their luck, our big vegetable garden may seem more important than a few pretty flowers, especially when folks are looking at a bowl of stewed okra with onions and fatback, or boiled new potatoes with butter and parsley, or black-eyed peas with sausage and cornbread. But while a vegetable garden feeds the body, pretty flowers, voodoo lily excluded, are a balm for the spirit. Aunt Hetty likes to remind us of the words of that famous horticulturist, Luther Burbank, which she has done up in cross-stitch for a sofa pillow. Flowers are sunshine, food, and medicine to the soul. During this Great Depression, even a few rays of sunshine go a long way to brighten a person's day. Well, that does it for now. As always, thank you for reading. We hope you'll enjoy this story so much that you'll forgive us for not getting around to it sooner. We'll try to do better next time. Sincerely, the Darling Dahlias. Chapter 1. The Voodoo Lily Blooms. Sunday, May 19th, 1935. Darling Dahlia's clubhouse and garden. "I vote for lopping it off," Verna Tidwell said, "and throwing it away, far away." She spread the last of the cucumber butter mix on a slice of Wonder Bread, topped it with a second slice, and cut off the crusts with a flourish. "I agree 100%, Ophelia Snow said emphatically. "If you stand too close, the smell just about knocks you over. Plus, the name of that plant gives me the willies." She looked at Verna's sandwich stack. "Do you need another loaf of bread, Verna?" "Yes, please." Verna brandished her knife. "I could go out there right now and take care of it. One quick slice is all it would take." "I wouldn't be too quick to lop off that lily, girls," Aunt Hetty Little cautioned. She pointed through the Dahlias' kitchen window and into the garden, where a couple of dozen people dressed in their Sunday best, suits, ties, and hats for the men, pretty spring dresses with gloves and hats for the ladies, were standing around, holding plates of finger sandwiches and chatting. "Boleen Johnson is the one who planted it. It's persnickety about bloomin', you know, and she's right proud of it. Cut it down and she's likely to pitch a hissy." Verna gave a sardonic sniff. But Ophelia knew from personal experience that Voleen Johnson was not to be trifled with. The widow of Mr. George E. Pickett Johnson, the former president of the local bank, and current president of the Darling Ladies Guild, as well as a Dahlia, Voleen considered herself one of the town's major opinion leaders. She probably was. Aunt Hetty paused, lowering her voice. "Plus, there's all those old stories about that plant." Ophelia handed Verna a loaf of bread. "Old stories?" "Cut down the blossom and a death will follow," Aunt Hetty said. "That's why it's called the voodoo lily, and one reason it's planted in our magic garden." "Rubbish," Verna huffed. "Cut the thing down and we'll all breathe a lot easier." "You've been warned," Aunt Hetty said. She added Verna's cucumber triangles to the sandwich plate she was assembling. As chair of the refreshment committee for today's event, she was in charge. "Ophelia, do you have any more of that curried egg salad? We could use a few more of those squares you were making." "I do," Ophelia said, opening the container of egg salad she'd brought from home. The eggs were laid by the half-dozen hens that lived in a coop behind the snow garage, along with their rooster, Buster. Business was slow as molasses at the farm supply these days, which meant that Opie wasn't always able to put beef or pork on the supper table. But thanks to the chickens, they rarely ran out of eggs. And thanks to the lusty Buster, they weren't likely to run.